Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Silva, the paleontologist here today. Today you can see I am out in the desert and I'm going to hopefully find some fossils. All right, and I am going to have this author, Aliki, help me. She wrote this great book called Fossils Tell of Long Ago. This is going to hopefully answer some of my questions like, what is a fossil? How do I find fossils and how are they made? So hopefully after reading some of this book, it will help me find a fossil out here in this desert. All right. So here we go. Fossils Tell of Long Ago by Aliki. Once upon a time, a huge fish was swimming around. When along came a smaller fish. The big fish was so hungry, it swallowed the other fish whole. The big fish died and sank to the bottom of the sea. This happened 90 million years ago. How do we know? We know because the fish turned to stone. The fish became a fossil. A plant or animal that has turned to a stone is called a fossil. Scientists can tell how old stones are. They could tell how old the fish fossil was. So you can see here's the fossil, and then you can see another fossil inside of what it ate. Pretty cool to be a paleontologist. How did the fish become a fossil? Most animals and plants do not become fossils when they die. Some rot. Others dry up and crumble and blow away. No trace of them is left. This could have happened to the big fish. We would never know it had lived. Instead, the fish became a fossil. This is how it happened. When the big fish died, it sank into the mud at the bottom of the sea. Slowly, the soft parts of the fish rotted away. Only its hard bones were left. The bones of the fish it had eaten were left too. The skeleton of the fish lay buried and protected in deep mud. Thousands of years went by. More layers of mud covered the fish. Tons and tons of mud piled up. After a long time, the surface of the earth changed. The sea where the fish was buried dried out. All right, so here are the steps to becoming a fossil. First, the animal needs to die. Then it is covered with a layer of mud that protects the bones. Then it waits for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and slowly gets covered by more mud, rock, dirt, silt, sand. And then eventually millions of years go by and there is a fossil. And that's what I'm going to try to find today. The weight of the layers of mud pressed down. Slowly, the mud turned to rock. As that happened, groundwater seeped through the changing layers of mud. Minerals were discovered in the water. The water seeped into all the tiny holes in the fish bones. The minerals in the water were left behind in the fish bones. After a very long time, the bones turned to stone. The fish was a fossil. Some fossils, like the fish, are actually parts of plants or animals that have turned to stone. Sometimes a fossil is only an important imprint of a plant or animal. Millions of years ago, a leaf fell off a fern-like plant. It dropped onto the swampy forest soil, which is called peat. The leaf rotted away. but it left the mark of its shape in the peat. The peat, with the imprint of the leaf, hardened. It became a rock called coal. Coal is a fossil too. So maybe I'll find some fossils from some leaves or footprints today, as well as some bones of a dinosaur. Lots of different kinds of fossils I could find. These are dinosaur tracks. They were made in fresh mud 115 million years ago. Sand filled the dinosaur footprints in the mud. The sand hardened into rock called sandstone. Millions of years later, fossil hunters dug through the rock. They found the fossil tracks, exact imprints of the dinosaur's foot. Here's another type of fossil. All right, you guys, I think I'm ready to go dig up some fossils. So I have my axe and my brush. I am ready to go fossil hunting. All right, you guys, I'm exhausted. It's been a tough day. It took me hours and hours of wandering in the desert, searching, looking for clues, exploring. And I finally did it. As you can see, I finally found my fossil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the lab, and I'm going to have the real paleontologist identify it, help me put it together. All right, you guys, I hope you've had fun reading and learning about fossils. Hope to see you at 10 o'clock in the morning for some online learning. All right, bye.